Hey there, it's Pete Thorn. Welcome to my studio. I'm here to show you the Empire Drive. This is a dual mode overdrive, and it's a collaboration between guitarist Paul Allen and the folks at the Big Joe Stompbox Company. And they set out to make the kind of ultimate gigging player's dream dual mode overdrive. And they wanted it to be real versatile for the player that's got a bunch of different amps. Maybe you've found in the past some of your overdrives work with some of your amps but not with others and that kind of thing. Or maybe you do a lot of gigs where you've got to use backline amps or rental amps, and you find one day you get a real bright, edgy sounding amp, and the next day you get a real mud bomb, woolly, dark sounding amp that's kind of flubby. Well, this pedal is designed to work in all those different situations and be fine-tunable and tweakable enough to work no matter what your core amp tone is. So it's got a ton of features, and I'm going to try and get to all of them. Let's start off with the fact that you've got a switch here to switch the pedal from true bypass into buffered mode. Okay, so there's also a control here, it's this pot right here that allows you to boost a little bit when you're in buffered mode. So when it's all the way down, you're at unity gain, bring it up, and you're going to be able to get some clean boost out of that. So it's just really nice because you can switch in the buffered mode and then kind of fine tune, get a little bit more boost out of your guitar if that's what you want right at the input stage. So you saw me in the song at the beginning of the video. I played a chord and then switched from true bypass mode into buffered mode, and I hit a chord again. I had the level control for the buffer up around 10 o'clock, and the high end opened up really nice, and I got a couple dB of boost out of the pedal. It just sounded great. So then for the rhythm part, I was using my Sir Classic S for that part, the green guitar. I had overdrive side B switched in. So let's talk about side B first. You've got a gain control, an output control, and a tone control. Pretty standard for an overdrive, and it's a nice kind of very natural sounding overdrive circuit on side B. But then you've got this unique control here. It's a switch labeled firm or sponge, and that is the control that will allow you to really fine tune the pedal to different types of amps. Firm and sponge changes the tone of the overdrive circuit, but it also changes the feel. So in the firm mode, the high end opens up, the attack also gets quite a bit quicker, and if you've got a darker sounding amp, that'll work great. In the sponge mode, if you've got a bright sounding amp and you know, maybe with an aggressive bright cap, maybe like a deluxe reverb reissue or something like that, you can put it in sponge mode and the attack softens, the high end calms down a little bit, the feel changes up, and so that's your mode that you want to use for real bright aggressive amps. Okay, so then in the A side, let's look at that overdrive circuit. You've got a drive control, an output control, and a body control, and an attack control. And then there's also a presence control. So the presence control is like, you know, super upper frequencies, just like you would see in the presence control on a guitar amp. A body control is, as you might have guessed, lows and low mids, but it's really fine-tuned so that you can fatten up single note lines. So let's say you've got a guitar solo part and it's competing in a mix with a bunch of other guitars, and you want the solo to actually have some weight and some heft to the single notes. That body control will work really well to fatten up your single note lines. And then the attack control is like high end, high mids, and treble, that kind of thing, but it's fine-tuned to be at a frequency that really brings out pick attack. So if you want to soften the pick attack of your sound, you can turn it down, or you can bring it up and really accentuate the pick and get a little bit faster attack. And then there is also the aforementioned firm and sponge switch for the A side. Okay, last but not least, you've got a switch here that allows you to pick which drive comes first in the circuit, A or B. You can flip it so that B feeds into A or A feeds into B, and they have slightly different sounds when you stack the drives. So that's really nice to have that option. So for the solo part and the song at the beginning of the video, you saw me stacking side A and side B. I had the body control up nice and high on side A, and I was able to get a really, really cool fat sustaining lead sound on the 335, and just really dug that tone. So it's a terrific pedal, and I'm going to show you some sample settings now. Let's get into it. The Empire Dual Mode Overdrive from Big Joe Stompbox Company. Okay, let's check out Overdrive B now on the Empire. I've got my PT100 clean channel set up for kind of a neutral to maybe even on the dark side sort of clean. So it sounds like this. Okay, switching in Overdrive B. Okay, just a really nice, full, natural sounding overdrive. I'm going to sweep the tone control so you can hear the range on that. sounds really good to me right about 1 o'clock. So now I want to show you what that firm and sponge switch does. As I was saying, the tone sounds great right now. It's really balanced with my amp, and the switch is in the firm position right now. But watch what happens when I turn on the bright switch on my PT100 amp. Pretty harsh. So this can happen with a lot of overdrives. You've probably found this. It'll work great into a neutral or dark amp, but you know, certain pedals just won't work into an amp with the bright switch on. Well, watch what happens when I switch the switch to the sponge setting now without changing anything else. Just sounds great now. It sounds totally balanced, and you know, all it took was that one switching that. So I think this is terrific. I've actually been talking myself with different pedal manufacturers for a long time about this, saying it'd be great if you could incorporate a switch into your pedals that allows the pedal to be used with really bright amps that have, you know, aggressive bright caps, you know, like a deluxe reverb reissues, or certain mid-70s Marshalls come to mind, 80s Marshalls. You know, they sort of favor a pedal that is darker in color. But then there's darker sounding amps, let's say the normal channel of an AC30, and you're going to need more high-end and more sparkle out of a pedal in that case if you want to get a sort of a similar sound. So it's really terrific that they've incorporated the firm and spongy switch to change up both the feel and the tone of this pedal and make it really versatile with different kinds of amps. Thanks for checking out my video on the Empire Drive from Big Joe Stompbox Company and Paul Allen. You can check it out further at the Big Joe Stompbox website. And please hit subscribe if you haven't. Come back and see me for more videos real soon. Alright, I'm Pete Thorn. Take it easy.